Good morning, everyone. I hope that you are having a blessed Friday. I am putting together a key lime pound cake to take to a function tomorrow, and I thought I would share my process with you all. So I've already pulled together my ingredients, laid them all out. What we have is 3 cups of sugar with a cup of butter, 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil, a cup of milk, 2 tablespoons of lime gelatin, 3 cups of flour, between a quarter and a half a cup of key lime juice. Also I have 8 eggs. Right now what I'm doing is creaming together my butter and my sugar, and I am going to stop my handy dandy KitchenAid and scrape down the sides of my bowl so I can make sure that I'm getting everything mixed properly, I should say. To be complete sentences, that might be helpful. Down, and I'm going to start to add in my eggs one at a time. I have 6 of them, and I'm going to give them time to incorporate into the cream, butter, and sugar mixture before adding the next egg. This is a recipe that I continue to work with, trying to make sure that it tastes exactly the way that I want it to taste. And so I continue to make minor edits and adjustments to the recipe in order to create a more moist cake. My concern always with my pound cakes is ensuring that they don't become overly dry in the baking process. And so I like to do some things to kind of stave off dryness in the crumb texture of the cake. And so one of the things that I like to do is add a couple of tablespoons of vegetable oil, and when I'm doing my pound cake, I've come to learn that adding a couple of tablespoons of gelatin or pudding, I should say, is also something that I found to be quite helpful in allowing the crumb texture of the cake to retain its moisture. So now that the eggs are fully incorporated into the cream, butter, and sugar mixture, I'm going to speed up the mixer, I should say, so that it can create air in the batter. Typically with pound cakes, we don't use a lot of leavening agents such as baking powder or baking soda. Most typically, the leavening in pound cake comes from the manner by which you effectively whip air into your batter and into using your eggs. So in this particular cake, that's the approach that we are taking. So we are not using additional leavening devices, like I indicated before, such as baking soda or baking powder. And once it has beat for about, I want to say 4 to 5 minutes, then we will move on with the next step in the process. So that you don't have to listen to the noise, I'm going to pause it. Okay, I'm back, and you guys can see that I have made a mess of myself. I'm gonna go change my shirt once I put this in the oven. And this is why you should wear an apron when you are cooking, so that you don't mess up your clothing unexpectedly, or you should expect that you're gonna mess up your clothing and then prepare in anticipation thereof. Anyway, we're back, and where we left off was the creaming together of the butter, sugar. We then added the eggs, allowed them to beat for about 5 minutes so that they could aerate, because we are not going to be using any additional leavening agents. Then we added our dry ingredient, which was our flour, and 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt. Finally, we added about 1/4 to 1/2, depending upon your taste, of key lime juice. Not able to get fresh key limes right now, so I'm actually using Nellie and Joe's Key West lime juice. And what a lot of people may or may not know is that key limes are in fact not green, they are yellow. And so when you receive key lime cake, pie or cake, and it is green, it is because food coloring has been added to it. And so, just so you know, I have added a few drops of green food coloring because I wanted the cake to be green in this particular instance. So right now what I'm going to do is put it into my pans and then bake it in the oven for about an hour. I'm going to start at about 50 minutes, and then I'll check every 5 minutes for the desired doneness, somewhere around 212 degrees internal temperature. Additionally, just before I forget, I also added in the zest of 2 limes. And I zested the limes, then chopped that up, and that was the final ingredient that I have added to this particular cake mixture. So I'm gonna put them in the pans. I'll show you how they look in the pans, and then I will put them in the oven to bake, and then we'll come back once they're done. See you in a bit. Here are the cakes in the oven. As soon as they are done, I will share that with you. There they go. They're in the oven. We'll see how they're going to turn out.